Hi everyone, welcome to the event. My name is Prerit Sethi and I'm one of the co-founders of the India InsurTech Association and the founder of RIA Insurance. First, we would like to thank IFSC GIFT for working with us to put together this event. This event is a chance for the Indian and global InsurTech and insurance community to learn more about the benefits of IFSC GIFT. As a quick introduction, the India InsurTech Association, or IIA, is a not-for-profit industry organization which brings together Indian InsurTech startups, reinsurance and insurance companies, policymakers such as IFSC GIFT, service providers, and individuals to help grow the InsurTech ecosystem in India. The organization was started by Shwetank Verma, Subhajit Mandal, and me in 2020. While we are a relatively young organization, we've grown rapidly over the past year to grow to a member base of over 50 companies and continue to add 1 to 2 new members every week. Amongst our many activities, here are a few which I wanted to highlight. We published our annual report on India InsurTech landscape and trends in collaboration with BCG. 2, we've also published an India InsurTech landscape map in collaboration with the digital insurer, which is available on our website. 3, we formed over 10 different partnerships with similar InsurTech associations around the world, such as Global InsurTech Alliance, InsurTech New York, InsurTech Australia, Italian InsurTech Association, etc. We're also currently working on developing an Indian InsurTech stack, which is a piece of thought leadership to create a set of technology and data standards and frameworks which can be adopted by the Indian insurance industry. And finally, we also continue to conduct a number of events relevant to our members, such as the event here today. If you're keen to learn more about the Indian InsurTech ecosystem, do join us as a member, is what I would say. Now to switch gears and bring the spotlight on InsurTech in India. There cannot be a more exciting time to talk about InsurTech than right now. India remains one of the last untapped markets globally for insurance with our kind of scale. I'll go on a limb to even say that India has the potential to become a global InsurTech juggernaut in the next decade. We've got a large untapped local market where we can build and test InsurTech solutions at scale. 2, we've got a vast talent pool of engineers, data scientists, UI UX designers who now have the confidence to build tech products for the entire world. And 3, we've also got a large talent pool of technical insurance professionals such as actuaries, underwriters, and risk managers. We're seeing a number of trends on the ground, which will make for an interesting next couple of years for India InsurTech. Let me touch on a couple of these trends really quickly. One, as a theme, we see that COVID has resulted in major need for digitization in the insurance sector across the world. Here, India has a stellar track record of having large technology and managed services companies such as Exceedance, Wipro, TCS, Infosys, which have historically serviced insurance companies from around the world in India and by utilizing Indian talent. These companies and the Indian operations continue to see rapid growth. We are also now seeing InsurTech startups that are coming out from India being increasingly ambitious around the world. There's one set of startups that we're seeing that are building core tech and data solutions for enabling the entire insurance value chain across product development, pricing and underwriting, policy administration, claims support. These companies have the core teams in India, but are really selling to insurers and reinsurers globally today. There's also, interestingly, a new set of InsurTech startups that now we are seeing coming out of India who have the core teams again sitting here physically. They're in Gurgaon, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, GIFT City, but are building direct-to-consumer insurance companies, intermediary businesses in countries like the US, UK, and Australia while sitting out of India itself. The ecosystem has to be supported. There has been a lot of fundraising activity. Just from a fundraising perspective, along with the larger and well-known InsurTech such as the Policymakers, Digit, and Tournament, we are finding that newer startups also raising capital, especially in the last 12 months, such as Plum, Monsurety, and Toffee. Just in the last 12 months, we've seen fundraising activity in Indian insurance across full-stack insurers, insurance intermediaries, analytics companies, and SaaS companies. And then also when we look internally towards insurance and InsurTech within India, we also see a couple of major themes, right? One is post-COVID, the demand for health insurance and term insurance has increased. InsurTechs would play a key role in improving the penetration of these products in India in the next decade. But we also see a lot of support from the government of India's side. From a few great regulatory initiatives, we've seen things come up which impact InsurTechs directly, such as the National Digital Health Mission, the India Stack, the Open Data Initiatives itself. As a country, India has always been, we've had a large employment pool, which comes with deep technical skill sets and a cost advantage. If we combine this with the right kind of regulatory and infrastructure support, as what is now coming from IFSC GIFT, I'm quite certain that we'll see a boom of Indian InsurTech over the next decade. Before we start with the speakers and the panels itself, I wanted to quickly mention, if you have any questions for our speakers, please keep sending them to us over the Zoom chat. We will spend 10 minutes at the end of today's event answering these questions. And on this note, I would first like to welcome our next speaker, Mr. Dipesh Shah, who's speaking on the enabling role of IFSC as a unified regulator for InsurTech. Mr. Dipesh Shah has over 20 years of experience in international business, project development, corporate affairs, and corporate law and policy. Prior to joining IFSC Authority in December 2020, he spent the previous 12 years with GIFT City. His most notable accomplishment is his role in establishing India's first smart city and India's first international financial services center. He now heads development and international relations at IFSC Authority. Welcome, Mr. Shah. Thank you.
Thank you, Prerak. At the outset, let me thank the India InsurTech Association for holding this webinar. I think it has really come at the right time at the stage where we are, and the ongoing pandemic has really made ensure that a lot of innovation in various technology is happening all around. And I think the insurance sector is no surprise to us that it has to be in the forefront the way the things have emerged in this pandemic. We as an IFSC authority have been spending quite amount of time in understanding the requirements of various institutions, including some of the requirements of the insurance companies. And today we take this opportunity to present to all of you what we as an authority have enabled, and what are the businesses which are already happening from the IFSC zone, and how we see the InsurTech sandbox policy as a key enabler for the insurance companies to step in. With this, I'll run a small presentation to cover some of the points. It might be familiar to some of you who might have attended the earlier discussions on the international financial services sector. I think most of you are aware of the GIFT City. This is a greenfield city in Gandhinagar, just 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers from the Ahmedabad International Airport. So between Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar, the GIFT City is being set up by the government as a greenfield smart city, and it's on a vertical development with the state-of-art infrastructure. The total size and area of the GIFT City is around 800 acres. It has already got investment of close to 11,000 crore from the GIFT City authorities, and the allotment they have already made to several institutions. More than 200 of them are operating, with 11,000 plus company employees operating in the GIFT City. From the international financial services sector perspective, I think it is very important for all of you to take note that two important things have happened in terms of the IFSC. One, in 2015, the Government of India notified and carved out an area in India, which is for all practical purpose has been made offshore territory within India. And so from a regulation perspective, when you open your office in the International Financial Services Center, it becomes an offshore office and not an extension of India office for you. Second, in 2019, Government of India, through an act of parliament, passed IFSC Authority Act, and which has paved the way for notifying the India's first unified regulator, which now combines the powers of RBI, SEBI, IRDA, and PFRDA into one unified regulator. And this IFSC authority is headquartered in GIFT City, Gandhinagar. It got operational in July 2020, and on 1st October 2020, it got all the powers of the domestic regulators, RBI, SEBI, IRDA, and PFRDA for the IFSC zone. In terms of the enabling opportunities for the IFSC, I think one of the clear advantages that we foresee is a large hinterland economy and the access which the IFSC zone provides to the hinterland and to the global markets from its zone. You can also connect the strong 30 million Indian diaspora globally through the IFSC to India and offer them the products from the IFSC zone. It, in a way, is becoming an inbound and outbound gateway for India. For the Indian institutions who wants to go global, would find it easy to take a gateway of IFSC, and for foreign institutions who wants to set up a large international financial services business, both from an India opportunity and from a global opportunity, may find the IFSC as a natural advantage in terms of its operating cost and a very competitive tax regime provided. We are clearly seeing activities which are emerging in the International Financial Services Center, which are becoming a key enablers. From overall business perspective, IFFC provides opportunity to banks, insurance companies, capital market entities, asset management. It also provides emerging opportunities in the field of global fintech, hub, global in-house center, finance company, international bullion exchange, aircraft leasing and financing, and ancillary services. So clearly the whole set of opportunities which the IFFC now provides is enabling a lot of institutions to undertake global operations. In terms of tax competitive regime, Government of India has provided 10-year tax holiday. Out of 15, you can choose any 10-year. You have a complete tax exemption from the business profits. There is a minimum alternate tax which has been brought down to 9%. However, for the branches which are operating in IFFC, even that does not apply. So virtually there is a 10-year tax holiday on 100% profit that you earn here. And no GST on the business that you're doing from the IFFC, no stamp duty, no capital gain tax on the transactions that you do in the IFFC zone, and a very competitive regime for the funds to come in. Most importantly, we are close to now, the number here is 165, but now we are close to 175 financial services entities registered in the IFFC zone. In terms of insurance business, we have 19 plus entities now, which includes both insurance entities and insurance intermediaries operating from the IFFC. In banks, we are close to 16 now, and includes of 4 foreign banks. And the capital market side, we have 2 international exchanges with 45 plus broking entities operating in the IFFC zone. From new business opportunities, as I just mentioned, insurance and reinsurance is going to be our major focus area. We also provide a lot of trust on the fintech development, and that's where we believe that the InsurTech would have a great opportunity with the fintech development, mutual fund, bullion exchange, various ancillary professional services and asset management activities, and the reinsurance activities are all part of the IFFC opportunities. From an insurance perspective, we believe that there are a clear advantage for both insurance companies and reinsurance companies and the broking firms with under these areas. From direct insurance perspective, this zone becomes very important to serve India interests abroad. So a lot of entities, and we have now got the first private insurance company, ICICI Lombard, already on board. And it provides them and the insurance companies like New India, GIC, and provides them opportunity to write India risk abroad, which means that wholly owned subsidiary and joint ventures of Indian companies abroad, you can provide insurance from the IFFC zone. You can also offer foreign to foreign business from here. You can write for insurance for all SEZs in India from this zone, and also the onshore insurance subject to the Insurance Act and the order of preference that the IRDA provides. And foreign inward reinsurance also can be written from the IFFC zone. From a reinsurance cedent based in IFFC, cedent based outside India, and the reinsurance emanating from India can be also provided from the IFFC zone. The number of entities which are already part of the IFFC, the insurance and reinsurers are in front of you. And we are getting quite large number of interest from the insurance broking entities. Yesterday, we had a interaction with the Insurance Brokers Association, and close to 70-80 broking firms attended the webinar. In terms of new insurance opportunities, I think Satyen, I saw that is going to cover most of the new opportunities. We are just covering from the IFFC perspective that we thought that we should bring it to your notice. New markets which you can cover from the IFFC, which otherwise you can't do it from India. So you have a clear advantage that you can attend to new geographical markets from the IFFC zone. You can design and develop new products for insurance solutions for Indian interests abroad, as I say, Indian diaspora, health and life covers to Indian employees working abroad. And here, as Predak was saying, I think this could be a great innovation lab for the InsurTech companies as to how do they provide products to the NRIs and the person of Indian origin from the IFSC zone. And this has market been not explored in India before. And this IFSC thereby provides a great opportunity for InsurTech related to this retail business. International treaty business from the foreign markets and explore the new regulatory initiatives on the InsurTech and the aircraft leasing business from the IFSC. In terms of the enablers for the InsurTech, I think we already said that we are a unified regulator, which is one of the biggest advantage, because if you are going to come and innovate here across the segment, that is banking, insurance, capital market, pension, you can do it under one license of the sandbox, which is a very rare opportunity for the fintech and the InsurTech to operate from. You can collaborate with the financial institutions licensed by the IFSC authority in the zone itself. So we have 20 plus insurance companies plus 175 overall IFSC entities. You can explore your products with those players here. You can access to the global market from the IFSC. And we are also planning to have a connect with the other regulators, overseas regulators, thereby an InsurTech operating in an IFSC, while through our umbrella arrangement with the other overseas regulators would be able to access overseas markets from IFSC, and which is going to be a key enabler for a lot of InsurTech Indian players who want to go global. Similarly, a lot of foreign companies who want to innovate into India, new products, they can actually do a soft landing in the IFSC zone. And through that, the proof of concept, they can very well go to the Indian regulators and showcase their capabilities of what they've achieved in the IFSC zone for innovating into Indian market. And obviously the talent pool that the IFSC provides with a large excess of talent available in the zone. In terms of framework, as an IFSC authority, we already enable regulatory sandbox, which is, as I was mentioning, this is a key enabler for insurance companies and the related players to come and innovate. I would urge all the players present today to have a look at the regulatory sandbox provided by the IFSC authority and figure out the opportunities that they believe that they can explore IFSC market, global market, or India market through the IFSC zone. We also have an innovation sandbox. While in the regulatory sandbox, we do provide a live environment. In the innovation sandbox, it is without live environment, but giving you an opportunity to work on the data of the market infrastructure institutions present in the IFSC zone. In terms of the entities who are eligible to participate, virtually this is open for everyone in a way. If you see the left column, it provides all entities which are registered with a financial regulator in India or abroad can set up here. Even if you're not regulated, if you're a company incorporated and registered in India, you can still come and take a sandbox license from IFSC. Even the individuals who are citizens of India or individuals from outside, they can also approach and come and form an entity and enterprise here for sandbox testing of their products. Eligibility criteria for the projects are genuineness of the innovation. Obviously, for an InsurTech, it will be primarily the area which they would be working on. Genuine need to test, limited prior testing that they've done, direct benefits to the users, no risk to the financial system, testing readiness of the solution, and the deployment post-testing as to what are their plans. So what we do as an IFSC authority, we give them an environment to working. Once they prove their product, they become then eligible to get a commercial license under the framework applicable of the IFSC authority. So it's a very thought out structured way in which InsurTech and the institutions can come on board in the IFSC environment. While a number of regulatory exemptions, if required, can be provided during the sandbox innovation that the entities are planning. So in a way, we being a unified regulator, it is easier for us to grant the regulatory exemptions needed to test certain products and markets in the IFSC zone. And this is my last slide. We thought that we should flag this slide simply because this is something providing a great opportunity. If you are an insurance company if you have to do a back-end operations of the insurance, if you have your own in-house center, they have a special regime now available in the IFSC called Global In-House Center, whereby you are eligible for 10-year tax holiday, 100% profit exemption and GST exemption from this zone. So if you serve your parent from here or any of your global entities abroad, which is licensed as a financial services entity abroad, you can be part of the GIC, and the insurance entities can very well now bring in their innovation in the in-house centers also in the IFFC. So even an InsurTech for a global in-house center could be a good opportunity for some of the entities present today on this webinar. I'll stop here, but I'll be happy to take up questions as they come up on the chat box, or otherwise you're free to ask us the questions. I'll give it back the mic to Prerak.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. I think that was a great learning experience for everybody here. And we've learned a lot more about IFSC Gift and the opportunity that exists. I'm sure there'll be a lot of reach outs that happen to you to be able to take advantage of all the different initiatives. I would now like to welcome Mr. Satyendra Srivastava to speak about opportunities for insurtechs and insurance at GIFT IFSC and the legal framework for GIFT IFSC. Mr. Satyendra Srivastava is a senior partner at Consortia Legal, where he heads the insurance practice. He's a business lawyer who focuses on insurance, labor and employment, and education law. His vast expertise working with numerous Indian regulators and has worked closely on several aspects of establishing businesses in India. He extensively works with entities looking to set up base in GIFT IFSC. Welcome, Satyendra.
Thank you, Prerak. Good afternoon, everyone. After that wonderful presentation from Dipesh Bhai, I think all my thunder is stolen, but I'll nevertheless share my side of things. All right. So in the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to discuss the opportunities for InsurTech and insurance at GIFT IFSC from a legal point of view. I have called it the brave new world, and it may sound a bit hyperbolic, but I will let you find out whether it's a brave new world or not. 15 minutes may not be a sufficient time for familiarizing you with one of the most spectacular things to have happened to the Indian financial services regime, but nevertheless, I'll try to keep to the time. So, what are we going to cover in the next 15 minutes? It's the GIFT IFSC advantage. Okay, what is the advantage of coming to GIFT IFSC? Who can come to GIFT IFSC? What is the opportunity? And what are the benefits? Now, whenever I speak about fintech and insurtech, I'm reminded of our discussion with the managing director of GIFT City. He once told us that the name GIFT, right? The F and T, they stand for finance and tech. So even before fintech became popular or glamorous or assumed the currency that it has today, GIFT was already conceived with the idea of marrying finance and tech, and it was very futuristic then. It is right now also very futuristic with this, with the several opportunities that it has to offer. So, what is the advantage exactly? Now, one of the misinformations that needs to be dispelled at the outset, and especially in the insurtech space and also within certain segments of insurance, is that there is a proper statutory and a regulatory regime for International Financial Services Center. Many of them still believe that GIFT is just a tax incentive scheme that has been rolled out by the central government for entities that can come and set up shop in Gandhinagar. That is not the case. Okay, it is a very properly thought out, regime for international financial services. It's a special economic zone which will allow entities to undertake financial services, primarily banking, capital markets, insurance, and allied services. There is a proper regulatory and a legal basis. There was special economic zones, like for example, in the case of insurance, the Insurance Act was amended by the Special Economic Zone Act, and post that amendments, the government came up with rules. The Ministry of Finance notified certain rules. Pursuant to those rules, the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India, IRDI, they came up with their set of guidelines. So there is a whole regime under which insurance companies and other entities which are regulated by the respective regulators would come and set up their base in GIFT City. So there is a proper regulatory regime that exists, and this is something that I would want to stress at the outset. Now, what are the advantages? The obvious advantage is tax. In India, anybody who does business will be very happy to have tax as an incentive. Regulatory ease, it goes without saying, the manner in which the entire regulatory framework with respect to GIFT has been approached, it stresses on light touch, I would like to say super light touch regulation, minimal exchange control, for all of those, and I know that there are a couple of foreign reinsurers who've also logged in. There are people from Singapore and the US who are also tuning into this. Anybody who deals with India knows this beast called exchange control. It is not existing in many other progressive regimes, but in India, exchange control has been around, and it has become a bane of existence of many players who deal with transactions, with non-residents. So the good news is that in GIFT, as Dipesh Bhai pointed out, the entities that are based in GIFT, they are considered as persons resident outside India. So there is minimal interaction of any entity in GIFT with exchange control. And then comes unified regulator. So, the International Financial Services Center Authority, which has been formed pursuant to an act of parliament, as was discussed in the previous presentation. Now, that is a game changer, as I would look at. It is something which has been hitherto, it is one area which has not been experimented with so far. One regulator that subsumes the powers, authorities of all the other financial services regulators, RBI, SEBI, IRDA, PFRDA rolled into one. So this is something that's going to be very relevant in case of InsurTechs and FinTech companies. We know that there are many entities who are within the FinTech InsurTech space, who cannot be bucketed or categorized in one particular entity. It is difficult to say that, okay, whether they are doing banking, parabanking, insurance distribution, insurance underwriting, what. So in that cases, there are many who are, buzzing with new ideas, and for them to try out new things, through the sandbox or even outside the sandbox, IFSCA will be the place. Also because you may not have to run to different regulators in case you have an idea that that spills over, and it kind of gets into different regulated territories. So now, who can come to GIFT? Now, before we move to this slide, I would like to take a pause and just look at my understanding of InsurTech. Now, if in my reading, InsurTech is a very inclusive term, right? And there would be four subsets or four categories. The first is the traditional, insurance players and intermediaries who are looking at tech to disrupt the market, to innovate, to experiment, and to deal with new ideas. The second category is the new players, who are trying to use tech and do the same thing. So, they're using tech to undertake regulated activities like underwriting and distribution. And they are the ones who are competing with the traditional insurers. The third category is, the entities who are providing, they're the pure play, tech companies who are providing this tech services to the first and the second category. And the last category is an interesting category. And, sometimes we see that there are sizable people in this category. They are the ones who would do, bits and pieces of all the three, right? So they would be taking, they would be maybe doing some degree of underwriting, distribution in some form, but they are doing everything from the periphery. Okay, they also undertake other activities, and sometimes they are flying too close to the regulation as well. So, InsurTech is very inclusive, and it would subsume all these four type of entities. Now, GIFT as a platform, GIFT IFSC as a platform is very inclusive. Okay, the kind of opportunities that GIFT offers, GIFT would have something to offer to all these four subcategories, which would be subcategories of InsurTech. So let's see, who can come to GIFT IFSC. Dipesh Bhai alluded to this, but I will just kind of get into further details. So it is insurers and reinsurers, both Indian and foreign. Now, Indian insurers, we know, can set up a branch in GIFT IFSC. Foreign insurers, okay, they don't need any Indian joint venture partner if they want to come and set up a unit in GIFT under the branch route. Okay, so this is something which is exceptional as far as GIFT IFSC is concerned. Similarly, reinsurers, reinsurers can also come and set up a branch in GIFT IFSC. If you were to ask me that, if one has to do comparative analysis to what is the advantage of coming to India versus coming to GIFT as a reinsurer, there are many advantages except for order of preference. You don't need local. You don't need to maintain local solvency. 90% retrocession is allowed. And over and above that, you don't have to pay any tax, because as a reinsurer who's coming to India, you need to pay 40% tax, plus the surcharge and cess. So there is clearly an advantage for Indian insurers and reinsurers, both as well as foreign insurers, to come and set up shop in GIFT IFSC. Similarly, intermediaries, both Indian and foreign, are permitted to come and set up a base in GIFT. As far as foreign intermediaries are concerned, the regulations are currently being drafted. So, once the framework is ready, we will see a lot of interest from foreign intermediaries who are looking at coming to GIFT. Now, here I would like to make a special mention of several InsurTech companies. Now, there are many InsurTech companies in India who have taken licenses as intermediaries. Many of them are brokers, many of them are corporate agents, so on and so forth. So the current framework within India may not offer them opportunities to look beyond India, but GIFT IFSC could be that little access to international markets and to further innovation, which may not be possible because of the boundaries that the regulations set for them within India or within the domestic tariff area. Dipesh Bhai referred to global in-house centers and support services. Now, this is also a very important subcategory. There are several InsurTech companies who would also be ready to offer support services. We have in the next panel Mr. Arun Balakrishnan from Exceedance. He's actually making in India and making for the world, as the Prime Minister would like to call it. He's doing that in the insurance space already. So there is a clear opportunity for these entities to come in and set up in GIFT. And then there is the other set, InsurTech and similar companies who could come in. These are the ones who are not within the regulated space, but may want to explore opportunities like the sandbox and undertake those kind of activities, create those templates, and see if they're able to if they're able to use their innovations in a limited live settings like IFSC. So what is the opportunity? Many times people say that, okay, we come to GIFT, the biggest red herring is that you cannot do business in India. Okay, so when we come to this little corner, what is the actual opportunity that is available to us? Okay, so the answer there for everyone is, for insurers and reinsurers, it is IFSC, which is, okay, you can as far as insurers are concerned, you can do business within IFSC. You can write business in special economic zones in India. There are 220 operational special economic zones in India. More than 300 have been authorized. So, they are your clear market, where you can write business. Similarly, as an insurance company, you can, do business outside India, and you can do business within India, which is within DTA, subject to Insurance Act. So, there are many times where, Indian entities want to, seek insurance companies, they want to seek, assistance from insurance companies for their interests outside India. So the India interest abroad that Dipesh Bhai also referred to in his presentation. Similarly, for reinsurers, you can do business with the cedents that are based in IFSC. You can do business outside India, and subject to order of preference, you can seek reinsurance placements from Indian cedents. For intermediaries also, you can do business within IFSC. You can, intermediate risks that emanate from special economic zones. And obviously you can, work outside India. Now, this is something in particular which I would like to highlight. Now, there are many, as I referred to in my previous slide, there are many InsurTech companies who have taken licenses as intermediaries, and currently, they have the ability to service certain markets outside India. They have the ability to innovate, but they are not being able to do that within the existing, regulatory frameworks. So GIFT IFSC could provide that opportunity for them. If they have, like for example, we know of a player which provides tech services in the marine space. Now, they have a clear-cut proposition of doing something outside India as far as marine cargo insurance is concerned, but they can't do it because of regulatory reasons. So there are, opportunities like that which are clearly available from GIFT, which can be explored. Similarly, there are these, support services, global in-house centers. Global in-house centers may only be relevant to, insurers and reinsurers. It may not be that relevant to from an InsurTech perspective. But there are many leading insurers and reinsurers who have their back offices in India, Gurgaon, Noida, Pune, etc. And, they can use this facility to, open their, global in-house centers and avail the other benefits like, the GST and tax. For others, unregulated activity, as I said, the ones who are, on the cusp of finance, capital market, banking, capital markets, insurance, who are not in particular undertaking any regulated activity, they could also come and set up base in India. We know, that India is one of the largest recipients of foreign inward remittances. That's the only indice where India has overtaken China. And there are many companies who are, there are many insurance companies who are looking at, exploiting that market. Now, fintech and insurtech companies could partner with those organizations, with those insurance companies and, intermediaries, and look at, offering new range of services. So, if one has to look at the benefits, okay, what are the benefits? If one has to do a quick count, it's the regulatory ease. Okay, it goes without saying, light touch regulation, new markets to explore, Currently from, being a regulated entity in India, there are certain restrictions and restraints because of which you cannot explore those markets. You can have an access to those markets from GIFT City. Ability to innovate, sandbox, we discussed this in the previous presentation, with respect to sandbox, and given that you have a unified regulator, any idea which kind of covers more than one kind of financial service activity could also find we could also find a way to take it to the sandbox regime in GIFT IFSC, and the last one being tax, the most obvious one. As far as InsurTech organizations are concerned, the new markets to explore and ability to innovate, they stand out. Okay. Now, summing up, there are unlimited opportunities for insurance and InsurTech companies. If you were to ask me, and again, at the risk of sounding hyperbolic, it is a brave new world. The kind of appetite for new ideas that is epitomized by InsurTech companies. GIFT City, GIFT IFSC will be the legitimate and an ideal home, for these new ideas and these new aspirations. So it is a brave new world. There are opportunities, okay, sandbox, tax, regulatories and all, and the opportunity is now. So thank you. And I will hand it over back to Prerak. I'll be happy to take any questions towards the end.
Thank you, Satyendra. That was an interesting session. I think we've all learned more about the legal framework also, and maybe also simpler framework on how to approach evaluating IFSC, GIFT, and to take advantage of it. I would actually now like to welcome a panelist for today for a discussion on how GIFT IFSC can lead to India's InsurTech story and how InsurTechs can contribute to IFSC's insurance vision. Our panelists for today are, the first is Mr. G. Srinivasan. Please welcome Mr. G. Srinivasan, who's currently serving as Director of National Insurance Academy. Mr. Srinivasan is well recognized for his contributions to the Indian insurance industry through his 39 years of insurance experience, and has also served as the CMD of New India Assurance for 6 years. Mr. Srinivasan has held multiple leadership positions at prestigious organizations such as the General Insurance Council, GIPSA, and the Insurance Institute of India, etc. Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan.
Thank you.
Second is, we've got Mr. Alok Agarwal. Please welcome Mr. Alok Agarwal, who's the Executive Director at ICICI Lombard, which is India's largest private sector general insurance company. Mr. Agarwal heads a wholesale group at ICICI Lombard, which includes the corporate and financial inclusion business. Mr. Agarwal is also a graduate of IIM Kolkata. Welcome, Mr. Agarwal.
Thank you.
Third, we've got Mr. Arun Balakrishnan. Please welcome Arun Balakrishnan, who's the founder and CEO of Exceedance. Exceedance is one of the world's leading consulting and managed services companies, specifically focused on the insurance industry. They partner with insurers, reinsurers, and brokers and NGOs worldwide. Prior to founding Exceedance, Arun was the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway Insurance in India, and Arun is also a graduate of IIM Ahmedabad. Welcome, Arun.
Everyone.
And then we've also got Rohit Boda. Please welcome Rohit Boda, who's the MD of JB Boda Group, which is one of India's largest and oldest reinsurance brokerage and insurance brokerage companies. Over the past decade, Rohit has led his company's expansion into new regions around the world and into new areas of insurance such as ILS and structured solutions, parametric insurance, etc. Rohit is a strong advocate of the role of InsurTech and has built multiple collaborations with new and upcoming InsurTech startups. Welcome, Rohit. So starting out with questions for the panel itself, I'll first address a question to Mr. Srinivasan. Sir, as an insurance industry veteran and someone who has also seen the concept of IFSC evolve in the last 5 years, what role can IFSC GIFT play in the development of the insurance sector in India?
Thank you, Prerak, for the opportunity of being in this panel. I've had the opportunity of looking at GIFT City from perhaps day one. I must compliment Mr. Deepesha, who's been there right from the beginning, for taking it to the current level. where really we are very proud of the development of GIFT City. Initial years it took some time, but I think today, especially with the setting up of the unified regulator, I think IFSC has made tremendous strides, and there are huge opportunities. I mean, we heard from the other speakers what are the advantages of here. I really look at some of the insurance hubs across the world, Dubai, Singapore, and London. I think GIFT City has really the potential to match up to those hubs, not only for India but also for the whole world. But looking at the opportunities for insurers and reinsurers, I think we really need more of them to come and set up base in GIFT City. And that's the biggest problem I could see at this point of time. Everything else is available, and the insurers are quite capable of really taking business to the next level. The huge advantages like tax benefits, cost of operation, ease of doing business, light touch regulations, and unified regulator, flexibility, possibility of innovation in products and processes, great environment, all essential things are very much there. So the insurers who are coming to GIFT City can really look at the whole world. If you look at the Indian diaspora itself, at the Middle East, the markets, there is a lot of retail business we can really bring to them. If you look at the Middle East, a lot of those customers would really like to insure with companies in GIFT City, would like their Indian interests or Indian relatives to be insured. So there's a lot of opportunities in the retail space. The commercial space, I mean, the insurers can really insure properties anywhere in the world. And I can talk of Indian interests abroad. There are a lot of Indian companies who have operations all over the world. But today they go for global programs, very complicated, structured programs. So an insurance company GIFT can easily provide that kind of a program to the customers in India. So on the direct side, there are huge opportunities. On the reinsurance side, I really look at GIFT as emerging as a reinsurance hub for the whole world. If Indian insurers, Indian reinsurers, global reinsurers can really come and set up base, not only look at the Indian reinsurance potential, but these companies can really provide reinsurance to the whole world. I mean, India can really emerge. We have everything. We have the language, we have the legal system, and insurance. So fully we can get capital. We can really provide reinsurance to the whole world. And then there are certain businesses which today, are not readily available in India. So there are restrictions, in going to the Indian tariff area. One is, for example, credit insurance or P&I product, surety business, or even aviation. GIFT City can really become a hub for the aviation insurance business, because Indian insurance companies do a lot of aviation insurance and reinsurance. So I see tremendous opportunities, and India can really occupy its rightful position in the global insurance market through GIFT City.
Thank you, Srinivasan sir. I think you've given all the attendees here a number of ideas for how they can start to think about different lines of insurance businesses and how they could consider setting up office and taking advantage of them. Mr. Agarwal, ICICI Lombard is the largest private sector insurer in India and the first private sector insurer to set up a unit in GIFT City. What is the opportunity that ICICI Lombard is seeking to take advantage of from IFSC GIFT? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thank you, Prerak, for hosting me here. Actually, if you look at it as an opportunity, there are both opportunities in the wholesale area as well as the retail area of the business. So if you look at only the wholesale area, there are a lot of domestic clients who would like to have insurance for the international business, which they are taking from the international insurers and reinsurers currently. And they want a lot of product innovations from Indian companies to offer insurance to them. And there are many products which, as Mr. Srinivasan said, that which are very prevalent across the globe, but are at a very nascent stage as far as India is concerned. Surety bond, he mentioned. Surety bond is a very, very prevalent product across the globe, but it is done mainly through banking services in India. So that is another product. Aircraft leasing, which is now thought of as a big opportunity in IFSC, which shall also lead to a lot of opportunity. Today, we insure Indian aircrafts, or we also insure international aircrafts, but our book is not so diversified, and therefore we don't get a good rate as well as good diversity across the globe. So this can again become a big opportunity across the globe. As far as the retail opportunity is concerned, there are two types of people who are living abroad. One, the NRIs who are on a long-term stay abroad, and the other expats who are on a short-term job-related 1-2 years secondment to some foreign country. Both of them can be given tailored products on the health, wellness, travel. Those kind of products can be offered to them. And somebody who is based abroad, an Indian person of Indian origin based abroad, want some their parents, where their relatives to be insured in India, those kind of products can also be structured, and they are very generous as far as the money is concerned. They may not travel to India very often, but they have their heart at the right place as far as the money is concerned, and therefore they want to give it to their relatives based in India, a kind of an insurance product or some kind of a safety net. So both put together, we see a tremendous opportunity in the insurance space, and that is why we have set up an office in IFSC.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. Great to hear your perspective, and looking forward to having ICICI Lombard taking advantage of some of these. Some of the products that you mentioned are definitely needed, and as you correctly pointed out, very nascent in India today. I think we've got the skill set to be able to build on these products and have a large market, right, coming out of India that we'll also be able to capitalize on. That's the dual advantage that we have today. My next question is for Rohit. Rohit, how are reinsurers and reinsurance intermediaries seeking to take advantage of the regulations at IFSC? And then what are some of the very specific reinsurance activities where JB Boda is excited about when he set up your office at GIFT City?
Thanks, Pereira. First of all, let me thank IFSCA, GIFT City, and IIA for providing this opportunity. Now, let me begin with the word gift. Now, this word gift in itself is a gift to the nation in the form of the first IFSC center in the country. Now, when the first announcement of GIFT was done, it was a vision by the Indian government to build an IFSC center for India that was built, and today GIFT City has evolved over a period of time. Now, JBB was one of the very first few brokers having their physical offices envisaging the future. Now, the GIFT City with the simplified regulations plays an important role and possesses a great opportunity for us to transact business with this platform. All this is an advantage and a serious point of consideration, not only for JB Boda, but for the entire reinsurance and insurance broking fraternity. Now, we have seen a lot of brokers setting up their shops, and I personally feel it is quite a prudent move. Now, in the last 3 years, we have not only seen all the segments of IIO coming up here, but we have also seen a lot of capital markets and banks who have established their offices in this arena. Now, from the reinsurance standpoint in particular, the entities are allowed to take the dollar-denominated business, which I think is one of the very important segments for a reinsurance broker. Now, to add there, the foreign country transactions like the foreign to foreign, India to foreign, and foreign to India is something we have taken advantage of with our global presence in the 90 countries. So the regulations has also allowed to undertake domestic insurance and reinsurance business in lines with the IRDA regulations. Now, the GIFT City reinsurers, they see foreign treaty as well as facultative inward business flowing in, and a lot of out-to-out reinsurance business is also arranged. So when we summarize, it is a whole gamut of services that could be transacted through this office. Now, very quickly coming to the capital requirement for an Indian insurer to set up an office outside is 100 crore, and for a reinsurance company is 200 crore. We get to 10 crore in an IIO. Now, this surely attracts a lot of global reinsurers to look at GIFT City seriously. Now, honestly, after this announcement of the session was made, quite a few reinsurers were shooting across questions, and especially what attracted them was the 100% FDI. Now, that brings more capital to the country, which leads to a greater and easier access to these foreign reinsurers who are setting up offices here. Now, another interesting opportunity that I foresee for the broking community is that 90% of the reinsurance business is allowed to be retroceded. And if we see the number of reinsurers that come in the GIFT City, now this is really a big area of target for all of us, and it could be of a great potential. Last thing before I conclude on this answer, now this is very much an area of my personal interest. Now, see, the Indian economy is one of the future superpowers of the world and one of the gigantic economies as we term today. What we probably have to look into is that the country has not yet evolved, or we do not have an environment where the players of the capital markets, like the retail and the institutional investors, the family offices, the venture capitalists, they help in building the reinsurance capacity. Now, there are various products like ILWs, ILS, cat bonds, which are being purchased and which are being termed as an alternative means of risk transfer. Now, if IFSC and GIFT City could assist the insurance industry and the reinsurance industry to join hands between the capital markets and the IRDA, then I personally feel that this could be a massive area of opportunity. Thank you, Prerak.
Thanks, Rohit. It's good feedback, and I think we can take it back to the IFSC and the GIFT team and see it's something that can be worked on together. My next question is for you, Arun. Arun, how are some of the world's top insurers and reinsurers viewing India today as a hub for tech development, data science, and managed services? And then how can we also attract some of these global insurers and reinsurers, set up large InsurTech captives and hubs by taking the advantages that you heard of earlier at IFSC and GIFT City?
Thanks, Prerak, for the opportunity. First of all, just to mention before I get into a specific question, I think this is an awesome initiative, right? I mean, just when I wear the multiple hats I have, not only for what it does to businesses like Exceedance, to our clients, we have made investments in InsurTechs or in, MGA partners, even as a customer which has like so many India interests abroad. I think this checks all the boxes, right? I mean, and having dealt with so many regulators and governments, especially insurance across the world, I must say this is a very progressive move, right? And very encouraging to see that. Now, when I get specifically, the advantages listed out by Mr. Shah and Satendra were like really prominent, but I think a tax portion has a very, everybody focuses on that, right? So it's great to have that, and it's very generous of the governments, but I think the biggest advantage which this presents is the opportunity of opening new markets, right? So the world over, the way an insurance industry is evolving, it's going to be data and technology companies. I mean, future of insurance is companies which at the core are data and technology companies. The form of insurance is changing. Like embedded insurance is going to be such a big thing of all the things, right? All these avenues, as people in India, and I'm not talking about existing insurance companies, even individuals who wanted to start insurance businesses or anything like that, it was a distant dream for many. Because just imagine if somebody using the open source code that came up with a brilliant rating algorithm for Tesla cars, right? If he has to actually sell that, first he has to relocate overseas, going through all the citizenship issues, then getting a regulatory license, then God knows, it's like 100 hoops, right? So suddenly now, not only can insurance and reinsurers of the world tap into the talent here to create meaningful, such products and experiment, and India could be a great R&D hub for that. It also allows several entrepreneurs with brilliant ideas to create global insurance products, which was a challenge for them. And, I've been through this journey personally when in the past in the Berkshire role, when we thought about setting up captive in India with the issues around permanent establishment and, transfer pricing, taxes, and the multiple challenges it was posing, right? It deters so many to kind of use India as a good hub. So when we have a good, easy framework to do that, I think it'll encourage several insurance companies, new as well as existing overseas, to really work with the talent pool here. But more importantly, I think the benefit is it allows people like yourself who's thinking of doing something disruptive, and several others on the India InsurTech platform we have interacted with, they can go global, right? And it is facilitating that. So again, my congratulations to all the policy makers here for thinking of something really progressive. And I can say that I'm probably going to be one of the first to sign up on all the benefits, right? I've already sent the mail to my CFO to start finding areas on how we can, partner and get those things here.
Thanks, Arun. Arun, one of the most important things that India offers, right, is the talent pool itself. So my question was Srinivasan, sir. So you've seen that talent pool in India, especially in the insurance sector, as we think about it in terms of actuaries, underwriters, risk managers, evolve over the last 2 decades, right, after the opening of the industry itself. So in your mind, how can InsurTechs and the insurance ecosystem, companies setting up offices in IFSC, GIFT City, take advantage of this talent pool? Sure, sir, I think you're on mute. Thank you.
India always has a great talent pool. I mean, in the insurance sector, even before the industry was opened up, India has provided a lot of talent to many other markets of the world. Look at the Middle East market, look at the African market. A lot of insurance companies, insurance ecosystem is run by people from the Indian insurance industry. That way, India has good talent. And then, of course, added to that, you have a great number of actuaries, Indians, good in mathematics, good actuaries, data scientists, then risk managers, you can talk of technology people, data analysts. So I think we have everything that's required for an insurance sector. I think it's for the IFSC really leverage this talent to provide those services to all over the world. India today has some of those big back offices here. Many of the big insurance companies have big back office centers here. Clearly, with good cost advantage, IFSC can really host some of those big back offices. And all the insurance related services, we can give with the talent here. But in GIFT City can really be running the insurance sector of the world. We can reach that.
Prerak, if it's okay, can I make one comment? I completely agree with Mr. Srinivasan's comments, but I didn't want to disrupt the flow. Is it okay if I did that? Prerak?
Yeah, please, Arun. Yes, absolutely. You're on the other side. Hey, Arun.
Yeah, so no, Mr. Srinivasan, completely agree with you. The kind of talent pool here is really promising. In fact, we've built a whole business on that foundation, right? And but I think specifically talking about GIFT, and I think attracting talent to there is also going to be an important factor, right? While the talent is there in India, if we have to attract them to GIFT, I think it's not only the companies which are there on good salaries which get the talent. I think it's a broader ecosystem, right? And that's one of the things which, just as an observation and some recommendation, if any, from my side, is building a place and making it a talent hub is not only about the employment opportunities, but also an ecosystem around that, simple things like, facilities around resorts or, movie theaters, and just livability, because, the world over it happens. You have talent around everything. Everybody gravitates to London or a New York or a Mumbai or a Delhi, right? I think if we really want to make this a good, solid hub, now Bermuda is a great example, right? Bermuda as an island is now the reinsurance hub, and insurance hub capital is there, but they made it a requirement for people to be on the island, right? And the island has one of the smartest talent, in the insurance world. We are headquartered there as well. And so, but the whole ecosystem Bermuda there is a good place to live too, right? It is encouraging executives to move there. So I think that's one area. If we did, I think it'll just add on to the fact that it'll get the talent to GIFT as well. And I completely agree with you. We can run every part of the world from there.
Prerak, I just would like to add just one sentence to that. I think I completely agree with Mr. Balakrishnan for this comment, because you need a good living standards and good living environment for people to really move to Gujarat and GIFT City. I don't know, I was part of the committee which International Financial Services Authority had set up a few months back. One of the key recommendations we made is it should attract people. India has the talent, but Gujarat should attract, GIFT City should attract people to come there by setting up a few things, making some changes. I can't talk everything about it here.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. And the infrastructure, I think, becomes important, right? So the physical infrastructure, as Arun's pointing out, plays a key role in attracting the talent infrastructure, essentially, itself. Thank you. Mr. Agarwal, just switching gears. I know IFSC and GIFT City, you spoke about this a couple of minutes earlier. You mentioned that the regulatory framework now allows insurtechs to sell insurance to Indian diaspora living globally. So could you just delve in a little more deeper around the kind of products that you see there to be a demand, and what kind of services can some of these insurtechs also provide insurers, this diaspora, to be able to create more solutions or packages itself to service them?
So India has been a leader in InsurTech in the last couple of years, in the sense that what has enabled InsurTech to grow in India has been one is the mobile device penetration, growing middle class, low cost data, etc. So this has basically enabled, given us some kind of an ecosystem, and different types of InsurTechs have come into play. One, who are distributors. Your companies like PolicyBazaar, CoverFox, etc. They are basically distributors, aggregators who have come into play. Then there are other tech companies who have come who provide support to insurance company and distributors like PolicyBazaar and CoverFox. Those type of companies have come. Now, InsurTech innovations can happen in both the wholesale and the retail area. At ICICI Lombard, in the wholesale area, we have, on the wellness side, we have come up with an app called IL Take Care, which basically addresses all the health and wellness solutions in one app, and which can also provide the services to the overseas Indians. Also, we have come out with cutting-edge solutions for marine transport, where GPS-enabled transport can be, you can track your goods, and in case it gets hijacked or something, you can do some kind of a remedial measures. And even a temperature sensitive cargo, if it is moving, if there are temperature moves beyond a certain point, at which becomes very relevant in today's era where vaccines are being transported across the country in a temperature sensitive mode. If it goes below a certain temperature, immediate alert should go so that we can segregate that batch. Those kind of InsurTech solutions have already been provided by ICICI Lombard. What we feel that going towards the future, we should have one health, wellness and travel portal, which is integrated, something like a health, life, accident and travel solution on one platform. This is not there today for international diaspora. So if we can provide something like this, it will have a tremendous opportunity for Indians living abroad, for PIOs, person of Indian origins, and it will have a diversity of products on one platform. This is one solution that we can attempt at in the near future.
Thanks, Mr. Agarwal. And it's interesting, the other segment that's at least what we find in our conversations is looking for international or global products that should really be built by InsurTech companies out of India is ultra HNI, really wealthy Indians that are now saying that, look, can I get a global health insurance policy? Can I get as you said, a combination global health plus travel plus accident policy? I might be, spending half my time outside of India at this point of time, but my company's out of here. How can I get those products? Then I think, again, IFSC GIFT is the right place from where we can structure some of these products that are truly global in nature itself. Thank you. Arun, just switching gears, and you, Arun, invested in MGAs, you work with MGAs itself. I mentioned earlier that India has a strong talent pool in insurance and tech. A number of these InsurTech teams are very ambitious now. They're sitting out of India and saying, hey, can I build an insurance company in the US? Can I build an MGA in the US? Can I build an intermediary direct to consumer in the UK, right? And I've seen the first crop do very well. They're on track. What's your sense? What is that as an opportunity now? And by the way, also be able to hold risk, right, on the books, interestingly now. Arun, sorry, you're on mute.
You're absolutely right, Perak. I think the opportunities are tremendous, right? I mean, taking risk on your balance sheet, I think, is the next step always. And as we've seen, many of these insurtechs, be it Lemonade, the Roots of the world, and all started off with MGAs, proved the point. They can demonstrate holding capital, and then so allowing that journey allows you to create a lot of insurtechs of the future. So it's a great mechanism. You know, incidentally, I was talking to the MGA team we have about, you know, can we create some kind of a product, a stop loss product for Amazon sellers to address returns over a certain point or something. And we were talking about that. And then on LinkedIn, I see somebody, and he might be on a call as well. I mean, he's working on something similar in India, right? I mean, for e-commerce holders. So I reached out and we have a call scheduled. Well, these are kind of things which was so inspiring to me, is that people in India itself have the creative minds to think about a wide variety of such things. And what the Gift City can do is create an opportunity to try it out and test it out in a limited manner first. Because let's be real, right? I mean, every product innovation doesn't work, right? But the hoops you have to go through just to create POC can be a big deterrent. If we take out that and enable 100 experiments to happen, I'm sure 10 great ideas would come from there, right? But if you have a regulatory framework and everything, which is very hard to do POCs and try this out and innovation, be it MGAs in any form for the global world, it makes it very hard. So taking away that barrier, you will see such a kind of opportunities come out of here. I'm tremendously encouraged by that. And, you know, we discussed earlier, we thought about India, the kind of investment opportunities there could be for Exceedance. It always came down to, you know, SaaS providers or insurtechs, because you can't really create global insurance products from here, but you've now opened a whole new dimension, right? So this is very encouraging, and I think this will lead to a lot of good ideas.
Thanks, Arun.
Oh, there he goes. I see him chat. Saurabh.
Thanks, Arun. Rohit, last question. We're heading towards the end of time for you. Rohit, you work a lot with insurtech companies, right? And you're looking to bring a number of insurtech companies to India. You know, in the global offices, work with a number of insurtech companies across lots of different lines of businesses. Can you outline some specific opportunities that you're excited about for insurtechs to take advantage of IFSC India?
Sure, thanks, Pereira. Now, you all have seen the amount of interest that is shown by the brokers, insurers, and reinsurers in the Gift City. And today, InsurTech in India has evolved over the last 10 to 15 years in a substantial way. And I think the game changer was pandemic. I mean, the way the work from home era has kicked in, a lot of things went digital. Then, of course, the globe came up with a new buzzword called phygital, which is a combination of a digital and physical experience. Now, in the Gift City, an insurance company setting up operations is permitted to write all lines of business, like be it health, property, parametric, energy. And all of this is, again, linked very much to the technology. And there are an N number of startups that we see every day coming up, working in this space, who are raising funds, capitals. So in India, we have seen companies investing a huge amount of capital to convert their manual operations to an artificially intelligence-based programs. And not all of them could have the capability and expertise to do it in-house. And that's where these insurtech companies have a great opportunity, and they could be of a great help. Now, all the parties of the insurance fraternity are working towards going digital, and insurtech companies have a very bright future. Now, again, another buzzword that we keep on hearing is blockchain. Now, what we have heard is that blockchain is always linked to cryptocurrency, but I think it's becoming a legitimate disruptor in a myriad of industries, including insurance. Now, with this blockchain and a futuristic goal in mind, I co-founded one of the companies called Alpha Edge Consultants this year. Now, what we do here is we are a crypto PMS firm where we work a lot on the blockchain stuff. Now, what we are trying to do is we are trying to bring that blockchain technology and learn more on what and how we could involve this into the insurance and reinsurance world. Now, again, a lot of foreign insurance and reinsurance companies get attracted to Gift City, And the next 7 to 10 years, the InsurTech companies have a great opportunity to grow. However, it will be a gradual process. It is not something that is going to happen overnight. I think the patience and persistence is something what needs to be built. Again, why only InsurTech? I mean, the re-InsurTech is also a space which is not much talked about, but a lot of things is happening on that front, and we all need to ponder and look forward for. Last thing before I pass it back to you, Prerak. There are close to 500 insurance brokers in India, and there are not even 10% at GIFT City. So that itself answers the question. Thank you.
Thanks, Rohit. And I think all of this, InsurTech is again, I think Satinder kind of correctly pointed out. So InsurTech is not just the startups, right? Insurers, reinsurers, service providers, policymakers, individuals, everybody's got to come together basically, right, to make this ecosystem succeed. So that's what we've got to do. It's not just bringing insurers, reinsurers, and insurance intermediaries. Can we get the startups there? Can we get the service providers there? Can they all have a place where they're able to collaborate together? As Arun said, maybe in Bermuda, walk from one office to the other, have everybody be sitting in a 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer area where that innovation starts to happen together. So huge possibility. I'd like to thank everybody. We opened it up for some questions. I see a couple of questions on the chat. Ashish, I think you had a question which got answered by Arun, which is around the NG model and what's possible. I think we leave out the IID purview from now because I'm not sure if there's an expert here as is. Are there any other questions? I just wanted to see on the chat. I don't see too many. If not, we'll close this event for today itself. No?
Prerak, I want to make a point on the IRDA purview.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, one line answer that IRDA will have no role to play in IFSC. So, because IFSCA is the regulator for any insurance activity that will take place in IFSC. Therefore, IRDA will have no role.
I just would like to supplement to that point. Both technically on paper, IRDA will have no role in regulations. I think in practice, IRDA still has a lot of say on the evolution of regulations. I think probably that is one of the things which is needed immediately. Complete freedom, not looking at the mainland regulations, because the regulations of IRDA were for a different kind of conditions. It was for a huge market where they really wanted to take care of the interests of policyholders. So that was a different objective. So even today, many of the IRDA regulations still apply to the city unless the unified regulator changes. That's one of the things which is needed. I think the regulator has to take a completely different view of the requirements of GIFT City. That's something which is work in progress.
I can just, Prerak, I just add a few things to what has been said. I think at the outset, I think the panel was excellent. The way the points have come out, I think, and this is the importance of the unified regulator, that they are willing to listen and be with you to understand your problems and take it to a logical closure. I think for a bit of time, we've seen that in last 6 to 7 months, in our short journey from October 1, 2020 to 30th June 2021, you've seen in a short span of time, a lot of issues has been told to us, and we've been very happy to hear them out and address one by one those issues. And that's where we see, I think, a lot of institutions are finding this as a right way of doing business, because it addresses the challenges quite fast versus what they are used to in a given situation where they were. So I would urge, I think, the suggestions which you have put in here today and that you might have get after this, please send it to us. We'll be very happy to tick mark most of those issues that you find as a hurdle in terms of getting you started here. Apart from that, I think 2 points I'd like to highlight. One, what Arun said about the skill and the city. Because I've been part of the GIFT City in my earlier assignment, and now as a part of an IFSCA authority, we are housed in the GIFT City. I can assure you that, when we first globally now center that we licensed as an IFSC authority was none other than Bank of America with 1,200 employees. And believe me, if you get an institution like Bank of America, it means that the whole city, including everything, has been gone for a test before they signed off. And this is the nature of a global institutions. When they sign up, they go through the entire process of ensuring from end to end whether the city is livable from an employee perspective, whether the facilities are up to the standard, whether the regulatory environment is at ease, and obviously the most important factor, the quality of life. And what we have seen is that in all the boxes, the GIFT City came way ahead than the rest of India in terms of the for setting up this center of GIC here. We also, I would also like to highlight that apart from the Government of India incentives, Government of Gujarat has offered a lot of ITS incentives for the financial services. So Arun, to you, if an employee, say for example, of a GIC sitting here, the Government of Gujarat reimburses the PF, Provident Fund, 100% for a female employee and 75% for a male employee for 5 years on a rolling basis. And which is very rare, without any cap, no upper cap on the overall incentive, which makes it quite interesting because some of the institutions which came here found the process quite easy to get onboarded. We are conscious of the fact that the insurance industry in India has a lot of ideas that they want to experiment innovate into, and we work very closely with IRDA. So I would say IRDA for us is a great support, because it is with that support that the center got started, and they've been now helping and guiding us wherever we get stuck as a new authority to provide us the right directions into which how these new businesses can be innovated. So we work very closely. In fact, today in the afternoon, the ICICI Lombard branch was inaugurated jointly by the Executive Director of IRDA and Executive Director of IFSCA, Mr. Praveen Trivedi, is with me in this room. And this was jointly inaugurated by both of them. And that's how we work very closely with the IRDA as an authority. We believe that going forward, two things will be a game changer for the insurance industry. One is the entire reinsurance business. How can that be enabled more efficiently from this zone? And two, how do we serve the non-resident Indians and how we innovate the whole business opportunity for the non-resident Indians from the zone. And this, as an authority, we are very keen to provide all the relevant support required, including the direct insurance business that the firms are looking at from the IFSC zone.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. Mr. Shah, thank you for listening through and then coming back with your feedback on how IFSC is open to listening more than anything else itself. So we always appreciate that itself. On behalf of just the India InsurTech Association, I'd like to thank all the speakers. They started out as an idea, right? InsurTech companies are constantly kind of pushing the boundary on ideas. That's what we do, right? The ideas, but then there's this frame of regulation that comes around this. There's this frame of what are you allowed to do or not allowed to do that comes around it. And so that way we've got to thank IFSC and GIFT City for offering newer markets, newer avenues for us to be able to experiment and innovate with. So I'd like to thank everybody who's attended today. What we do is right after, we're just ending the session right now, but we leave a slide up there, which has contact information for IFSC GIFT, Consortia Legal and IIA. If you've got any follow-up questions, thoughts, ideas for all the attendees, please do reach out to us and we can actually then help you move this forward. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for the event.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I thank everyone once again to attend this event. I will be ending this meeting right now. Thank you, everyone.